America has some of the most powerful weapons ever, created to destroy underground military facilities, massive bunker-busting bombs, precision-guided missiles, satellite surveillance, and the world's most advanced air force. But inside a mountain in Iran is a facility that presents a very different problem. Pickaxe Mountain. Buried deep underground, only a short distance from Iran's Natanz nuclear complex. And now, Washington has openly threatened to strike it. But there is one question that makes this mountain different. What happens when the target is buried deeper than your weapons can reliably reach?
Pickaxe Mountain. Can America reach it?
Pickaxe Mountain is not an ordinary military installation. It is known locally as Kachichi. The site sits roughly 220 kilometers south of Tehran and only about 2 kilometers from the Natanz nuclear complex. What makes it unusual is what lies beneath the mountain. Satellite imagery has revealed entrances leading into extensive underground tunnel complexes. The site has been associated with Iran's nuclear program for years. Iran has said the facility was intended for advanced centrifuge, assembly and manufacturing, but Western analysts have raised questions about whether the facility could eventually play a larger role in Iran's nuclear infrastructure. Quickly, let me tell you why Iran built underground nuclear facilities. To understand Pickaxe Mountain, you have to understand the lesson Iran learned from previous attacks. Above-ground facilities. Our visible and fixed infrastructure can be identified from satellites. Once an enemy knows exactly where a facility is, it becomes a potential target. Underground facilities change the equation. A mountain becomes a natural shield, instead of building a concrete bunker and placing it on the surface. Iranian engineers built critical infrastructure beneath hundreds of feet of rock, which makes destroying the building to be difficult. The attacker has to get through the mountain itself. The real problem. This is where Pickaxe Mountain becomes extremely difficult, according to analysts in recent reporting. The Pickaxe facility is buried roughly 100 meters underground, while other assessments have put portions of the complex hundreds of feet beneath the surface. That difference matters because penetrating a mountain is not the same thing as penetrating a building. A bunker buster has to survive the initial impact first and then penetrate the rock. It has to reach the correct location before detonation misses the critical depth or location, and the weapon may damage the facility without destroying what is actually inside. That's the fundamental problem with Pickaxe Mountain. America knows where the mountain is, but knowing where the mountain isn't necessarily the same as knowing exactly what is underneath. Quickly, let me explain the America's bunker buster problem. The United States possesses the GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrator, commonly known as the MOP. It was designed specifically for attacking deeply buried targets. But even the world's most powerful bunker-busting weapon doesn't magically turn a mountain into an ordinary building. The effectiveness of an attack depends on depth, geology, tunnel construction, target location, and the ability to reach the right part of the complex. And experts have cautioned that even if penetrating weapons were used against Pickaxe Mountain, there would be no guarantee that the underground facility would be destroyed. But the mountain has a weakness. Make sure you like and subscribe to see more videos like this. Every underground facility needs connections to the outside world. Entrances, roads, ventilation, power, personnel, access, and construction equipment. Those connections can become vulnerabilities. Recent satellite analysis has focused heavily on the tunnel, entrances, and construction activity around the site. And that brought a very different military problem. You don't necessarily have to destroy the entire mountain. You may only need to make the facility inaccessible or unusable. Like and subscribe. And let me tell you why the USA hasn't destroyed it. Here's where the story becomes even more interesting. Pickaxe Mountain has reportedly survived previous rounds of strikes that targeted other Iranian nuclear facilities. That does not necessarily mean the United States couldn't attack it. It means the decision is much more complicated. An attack has to answer several questions. What is actually inside? Is it operational? How deep are the critical areas? Can the entrances be disabled? And perhaps, most importantly, what happens after the bombs stop falling? Do not forget to like and subscribe as I explain the crazy part of the analysis. It's the unknown inside. The unknown inside. This is perhaps the most important part of the entire story. There is still uncertainty. About what? Pickaxe Mountain is currently capable of doing. Analysts have assessed that the facility may not yet be fully operational. Iran has also denied that nuclear activity is taking place there. At the same time, reports have emerged, alleging that centrifuges may have been moved into the underground complex. Those claims have not been independently verified publicly, and that uncertainty is strategically important. Because if the facility isn't operational, destroying it could prevent future use. But if critical equipment has already been moved underground, the stakes become much higher. Let me tell you about the pickaxe. Strategic nightmare. Pickaxe Mountain represents a much bigger problem than one Iranian facility. It represents the future of underground warfare. If a country can move critical military or nuclear infrastructure deep enough underground, traditional air power becomes less certain. Destroying a building is relatively straightforward. Destroying an entire mountain is something else, and that could encourage countries around the world to rethink where they place their most important infrastructure. Deeper, harder, more dispersed, and more difficult to monitor. What would an attack actually achieve? Suppose the United States attacks Pickaxe Mountain. What happened? The first possibility is obvious. The facility suffers serious damage, but that's only one outcome. Another possibility is that the entrances are damaged while deeper sections survive. Another is that construction is delayed. And another possibility is that Iran simply moves critical activities somewhere else. That's because destroying infrastructure doesn't necessarily destroy the knowledge, personnel, and industrial capability behind it. And that is why Pickaxe Mountain matters. The real objective isn't simply destroying concrete and rock. It's preventing Iran from rebuilding what was lost. The bigger question. The United States may have the world's most powerful military, but Pickaxe Mountain demonstrates an uncomfortable reality. Military power has limits, and a weapon can be incredibly powerful and still struggle against the right combination of depth, rock, and underground engineering. As weapons become more accurate, defensive infrastructure is becoming harder to find and harder to destroy. Pickaxe Mountain may therefore become more than an Iranian nuclear site. It could become a case study in the future of warfare. Do not forget to like and subscribe to see more analytical updates like this. Finally, for decades, military power was measured by aircraft, missiles, tanks, and ships. But the next generation of strategic competition may increasingly happen somewhere else, underground. Pickaxe Mountain is a reminder that the strongest target isn't always the one with the biggest army. Sometimes it's the one buried deepest. And the question facing Washington isn't simply, can America hit Pickaxe Mountain? The real question is, can America destroy what's inside it and prevent it from coming back? This is Global War Narratives. Subscribe for more stories explaining the world's most important conflicts through maps, technology, and strategy.